Welcome back to Eurosport's coverage of Day 5 of the Ford Australian Open. Well, if Martina Hingis has been grabbing most of the headlines in the women's event, this young lady, Mary Pierce, just a couple of days after her 22nd birthday, has been making a few of her own. Had a nice birthday cake in the media area after her birthday win. And nice that a lot of the players in the locker room signed her tennis bag as a sort of little gift as well. And Mary, well, she will certainly start as favourite in this match because she's up against a qualifier ranked 182 in the world. And that's Marketa Kochta from Germany, who a couple of years ago, as the German junior champion, looked to have a really bright future in front of her. She got up as high as 45 in the world in July of 1994, but sadly, since then, it's been downhill all the way. She's 21 now, born actually in Prague in the Czech Republic, but living now in Munich. But at least Bob Hewitt alongside me, David Mercer, the fact that she's qualified here and got through a couple of rounds, in other words, she's won, what, 5 matches already, it suggests that maybe in 1997 she's heading back up in the right direction.
Well, let's hope so for her sake. And yes, it's never easy to qualify for any tournament, let alone a Grand Slam. And then when you qualify, you get through a couple of rounds. It means that you are playing very well. Of course, she could have been lucky. She could be playing up against players that are not very good. But to be quite honest with you, there's no such thing as a player that's not very good that's in any tournament nowadays, especially in a Grand Slam. So she's certainly on the way back up, and hopefully for her sake she'll continue to rise, because she has a tough match today. Mary Pierce seemed to fall away last year. A couple of terrible decisions, in my opinion. Getting Brad Gilbert was the most terrible decision she could have made as her coach, because he's anti-women at the best of times, and that didn't work out. It didn't last very long either, but I think the damage was done before Brad got her, but he wasn't able to help her at all. And now she's back with her old coach, and maybe good things are going to happen for her. And they're not talking about her too much, are they, in Melbourne? As you say, they're talking about Steffi Graf and Martina Hingis, but I wouldn't exactly pass by Mary Pierce.
No, I'd go along with that. Lawyers will be addressing all writs to Mr. Bob Hewitt, Robert Anthony John Hewitt, let's get it right. But Mary Pierce is indeed back with Sven Grunewald, with whom she was working when she won this title 2 years ago. Of course, a terrific win for Mary in the first round over the 13th seed, Elena Lihovtseva, the woman who beat her here last year. And then beating Natalia Medvedeva in round 2. And Marketa Kochta in your screen. Well, she beat the president of the Women's Tennis Association, Marianne Werdell-Whitmire, in the first round, so maybe that will have cost her a fine. And then she beat young Annabelle Elwood of Australia. Both in 3 sets, so she's clearly in fighting form, really battling it out. Just coming up to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a lovely afternoon. It's mid-20s, 24, 25 Celsius, so not the oppressive heat of Monday and Tuesday. There is some wind out here on the outside courts. I think the centre court pretty well sheltered. But out here, the players will certainly have to contend with some wind. This is the 3rd meeting between the two. Pierce won both previous ones in straight sets, although the first one was 6-2, 7-5, the second 6-4, 6-1. So neither of them have been walkovers. They were in Filderstadt in 1993 and the Paris Indoors in 1994. Well, you'll often see Mary putting some eye drops in. And she's never been known to be the quickest lady on a tennis court in between the points.
She certainly hasn't got that reputation, but she does have the reputation and the knowledge of putting eye drops in there so often. It must be disconcerting for her to have to do that so often.
Kochta to serve. Start of the match. the first double fault, and it gives Pearce 2 immediate chances to break. Well, pretty poor opening game, to be honest. Most of the points decided by errors, but Pearce won't mind that as she breaks serve. Mary Pearce off to the perfect start. And a 1-love lead. The winner of this match, incidentally, will play Anke Huber, who in the first match of the day on the centre court got through against Natasha Zvereva, 7-5, 6-love. That really was a match of 2 halves, 2 sets.
That's Mary Pearce of old, isn't it? That big forehand, but this is a tremendous forehand, the off forehand. Mary Pearce did go off the boil, to say the least, for at least a year. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as they don't go too crazy, and I mean crazy in a nice sense, and as long as they get themselves back again. And hopefully for her sake and women's tennis, she's back on track.
Yes, the women's game certainly needs the blonde tornado, as she was christened by the French press when she reached the final of the French Open in 1994, sweeping all beside her, including Graf, but just coming unstuck against Sanchez-Vicario in the final. That's the centre court, the outsides of the centre court, just on the top left of the screen, or it was there. So you can see we're just a couple of 100 yards away. Court 3 in its 2nd year of use. Yes. Kochta really struggling with the pace and penetration of the Pearce ground strokes. Kochta's best result last year, semi-finalist in a challenger event in Santa Clara, California. Obviously likes playing in California, does Kochta, because her best ever result on the Corel WTA Tour was reaching the semi-finals of a tour event in San Diego.
California is not a bad place to play in. It doesn't rain too often, so you don't get too many rain interruptions, and usually playing on hard courts. She doesn't have much of a second serve, and it's just sitting up nicely to the Pearce forehand.
Point for a 3-love lead. Yep. That's a little cruel.
3 games to love for Shea.
Mary Pearce, of course, had shoulder problems at the end of last year. But, they don't seem to be affecting her here.
Very hard-hitting rally, that last one, the last point of the last game. I suppose, to be fair to Mary Pearce, the real test, assuming that she comes through this, will be when she comes up against one of the better players. Okay, she had a good win in the first round, but you've really got to measure her play and her attitude and her motivation when she comes up against one of the, say, the top 5 or 6 girls, and then if she beats them or does very well, then perhaps she's on the way back.
Yes, as we say, if she gets through this one, it'll be Anke Huber, and then just looking ahead, it could be in the quarterfinals, Conchita Martinez, who plays the first of the night matches tonight. And then semi-final against possibly Steffi Graf. Now, if she got through that little lot, I think we could safely say she was back. 3-love after just 10 minutes of play. Having a tough old time of it.
When you slip out to the 182, you're playing lesser players naturally, but they're not only lesser players, but they're less hard hitting. So she really has to make an adjustment here, because Mary Pearce is one of the hardest hitting players on the tour.
It's getting rather frustrated, Marketa Kochta. Understandably, she's just not performing out there as yet. Indeed, so far she's won just 5 points.
Mary Pearce is yet to miss a first serve. Very good.
love 15.
Well, she certainly does like to hit that forehand very hard, and it's good to see her play the forehand approach shot there.
Well, generous applause for Kochta. Good serve, followed up by the heavy forehand. But that wasn't a volley to suggest that she should be doing much serving and volleying. Well, it's sadly rather one way, isn't it? 2 break points.
Net for service. Net for service.
Problems are mounting all the time for Kochta, and Pearce strides out into a 5 games to love lead in the first set. What a lovely blue sky that is. Melbourne sparkling in the sunshine, and Mary Pearce fairly sparkling as well. Coming out to serve for the opening set at 5 games to love.
White, please. Thank you.
Well, at least she's smiling about it, but I bet she isn't smiling inwardly.
No. The drop shot was almost a very short lob. She just seems to be so late on practically every shot, and you just know that she's not used to this speed, and somehow or other she has to take the racket back that little bit earlier than she would normally and try to get the ball out in front, get used to the speed that way.
Net for service.
Yes, there's a different class out there. And after, well, I might get some 19 minutes. These are 3 set points.
50. Game on first set, good. 6-5.
Just 7 points conceded in the opening set.
Second set, Kochta to serve.
And if there's a quicker set than that one, which took 20 minutes, this championships, I don't want to see it.
Why?
Let's hope that she can fare a lot better in this one.
Well, she hit that one into the net, but at least it was a better attempt at a drop shot.
She seems now to be getting really flustered. She's rushing everything and trying to finish points almost before they've started. Well, Pearce having a long look from this end, and we're a long way away. It looked quite comfortably in. It was quite comfortably in.
Yes.
First service.
Here we come back to that rule of play interrupting the second serve, so she doing good though.
No, not getting the first serve. Didn't make any difference. And it's 7 games to love to Mary Pearce. I'll be back in a moment or two. Here's the situation out on court number 3. And so far it's been a stroll in the sunshine. Well, 93% of first serves in. Still very impressive. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I also think that if I was Mary Pearce's opponent, just to try to break the rhythm and get my composure, I'm not allowed to be coached, but I think I'd take a toilet break right now.
Well, an appeal to Javier Moreno in the umpire's chair, asking whether he saw a space between the line and the ball.
And he may have.
Love 30.
I think the line judges are definitely taking sympathy with Kochta out there.
Well, that's the other alternative to the one I suggested.
Yes, but her prize money this year before this tournament was only $200. She can't afford to bribe them.
Love 40.
First time that Kochta has had game points.
It looked easy, but it really, the way Mary Pierce holds the racket and doing the topspin, she came around it as well as over it. It was never an easy shot for her to make. She did it very, very well indeed.
Game Kochta.
Come on, smile, that's it. Great hand as Marketa Kochta eventually opens her account. Hopefully that will enable her to relax a little bit.
Love 50.
Just doesn't have any power at all on the serve, so she's not going to get any free points on that side.
Yeah, that's much better.
She dictated that entire rally, dictated it very well. Mary Pierce mustn't fall into the trap of thinking that the match is over simply because she won the first set so easily.
Well, suddenly it's a very different contest. It's amazing what winning a game will do. Get rid of all your fears and inhibitions and nerves. Second double fault. Well, great effort. And suddenly she's in the match.
Kochta is 2-1, second set.
Two successive games and a 2-1 lead. I mean, she did reach the third round here in 1990 as a slip of a lass. She would have only been, what, 15 at that time. But obviously she's not used to playing at this level, and it is amazing how you can be so inhibited, isn't it, by a big occasion playing on a show court.
Inhibited and under pressure because of the extra power. There's a lot of things that are against her at this very, very moment, but and not least of which is she got creamed in the first set, but she's shown good character by bouncing back. She lost her opening service game of the second set and has won 2 games in a row, one of which is breaking the Pearce serve. In the first set, she only won 2 points on the Pearce serve. So for her to win 4 points to break really shows that she's got the character. Now, all she needs to do is to be able to put a few more shots together, and maybe we've got a match here.
Lovely to see the outside courts so full. Every day we seem to be setting new attendance records. A tribute to Tennis Australia, the way they market the event.
15 love.
And as we've been saying, so many overseas visitors here. Super place to go and have a holiday, get some sunshine in the winter of the Northern Hemisphere. Watch a bit of tennis as well.
Good hands. Again, dropping the return to serve too short. You can't afford to do that against Pearce. You've got to get power and you've got to get length and hopefully a little bit of width. Make a move. If Pearce has a big weakness, it's a lack of mobility. Seems like she's improved it. She's no doubt working on it, but she's nowhere near a Steffi Graf.
Tough game for Mary Pearce after the loss of the previous 2, and it's 2-all. No, and I suppose there is a limit to how much work you can do simply to improve speed around the court. You're either a quick runner or you're not.
Yes, you've just got to work and try to do the best that you possibly can. Perhaps I used a bad example by saying that she's not a Steffi Graf, because Steffi is so brilliant, isn't she?
Well, Pearce got there with plenty of time. I suppose a lot of it, Rob, is to do with anticipation. If you're already on the move, then you do cover the court so much better.
Definitely, definitely. You've got to be able to read what your opponent's doing. That helps you take that first step. It's that first step that's so vital. So many players are waiting to see what the opponent does, and then they move. Well, it's very, very difficult at the speed they're hitting the ball to catch up to it.
And there's a classic example of that. So Pearce seems to be resuming her dominance, treating the second serve, which actually wasn't a bad length that time, with contempt.
At that particular time, she was very, very slow to stop, turn around, and come back to hit the ball.
So Mary Pierce takes advantage of the third of the 3 break points, and she's back in front again. Again, the eye drops. Considering what she went through as a kid, the fairly traumatic relationship she used to have with her father, she's turned out pretty good, if I can put it that way, pretty well.
Yes, yes. You know, it may have ruined her in some respects. I don't know, but I'm just saying it may have. But then again, on the other side, you know, Papa Pierce was so strong with her and so demanding of her practices and made her stay out there an extra hour and hit balls. So he must have done some good. Unfortunately, he's known for all the harm that he did. Again, dropping the ball a little bit too short. I pity any of the spectators that at the end of the previous match might have wanted to go off and had to buy a cold drink and then stand in the line for a few minutes and come back. They could have missed this match.
Well, they're just flexing the shoulder a little, so maybe they're still getting 1 or 2 twinges. Yeah, seems to me her best shot is that backhand down the line.
She's hit a couple of good ones. She's hit a couple of backhands cross court as well. So wherever she wants to hit the backhand, it's certainly better than the forehand. Not going for the big serve anymore. She's just throwing it in, kicking it in. So maybe you're right. Maybe she's feeling a twinge or 2 in that shoulder.
that. And Pearce certainly enjoyed it. And she moves 4-2 in front.
Both girls working very, very hard. Slight mishit on that forehand volley, but centre of the strings for the second opportunity with the forehand volley. She's broken serve and held her own and raced to a 4-2 lead in the second set. Too good.
Clear signs that she has come to terms with the speed of the ball now. The speed generated by her opponent, timing it so much better.
Service.
Well, one good thing about what she's done in this tournament is that starting off at 182, qualifying, winning a match or two, you know, it's going to bring her ranking up, so she's going to get used to this speed as her ranking gets better.
Third double fault, and it gives Pearce 2 break points. No, that's a pity. Mary Pearce takes advantage and will serve for the match at 5-2. Mary Pearce coming out to serve for a place in round 4, the last 16, and a meeting with Anke Huber, which I don't think will be on court number 3 somehow.
I hope not.
That one has major show court written all over it.
But you can rest assured, wherever it's played, Eurosport will be there.
Well, unless they put it out on court 18, I suppose we'd struggle down there. But
I mean, Paul McNamee may not be the brightest guy in the world, but he's not that dumb.
Oh, corrected call.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a show court match, but the problem is when you get to this stage, they're just about all show court matches, aren't they?
Yep. Well, mind you, we shouldn't necessarily assume that it's all over bar the shaking of the hands. That's one area of her game that seems to be better, Bob. She's dealing with these low balls close to the net rather more efficiently than in the past.
Yeah, she used to like to hit that shot as hard as she likes to hit the high shot, you know, and it could go into the cheap seats, but now she's certainly controlling them. She's played a couple of them today. That was well over to her left.
Yes, you can hear the wind getting up a little bit. Doing absolutely the right thing after a bad ball toss. Let it drop. Start again.
Well, she waited patiently for this one, but she didn't stand still while she was patient. She was moving her feet to make sure that she was in position when she hit the ball so she could hit it where she wanted it to go.
Just 47 minutes gone, and Mary Pierce is at match point. Yep. Well, an overwhelming win for Mary Pierce. At least Marketa Kochta avoided the dreaded double bagel, the love and love situation. And she must say to herself, all right, I was outclassed and overwhelmed today, but I've had a super tournament. I qualified, got through to the third round, and if you said that was going to happen when we started a qualifying tournament last week, you'd have said, hey, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm sure she would have taken it, but now, you know, she's got to now go back and think of what she's done in a positive light. She can't go and say, well, I got creamed and, you know, I'm a disgrace, or I played badly, or whatever the case may be. She really didn't have much of a chance to do a lot better today. I would like to see her develop her serve, and if she does that, she can do considerably better on the women's tennis tour.
So Mary Pierce through to play Anke Hubert. That'll certainly be a terrific match in prospect in a couple of days' time. We've got a terrific match in prospect. We're going back to the centre court to join Simon Reed and Fru McMillan for Thomas Enquist and Sergi Bruguera.